Bring in our football experts. He is Ralph Vacchiano, Marc Malusis, and Chris Lopresti here, guys. Boston guy arrested in New England for pulling the fire alarm against the Steelers at their hotel. The Steelers never got the wake-up call. 2 duds today. How disappointing was it to have 2 AFC and NFC Championship games, both not very good?
Well, it was really disappointing, not surprising the way the playoffs have gone so far. Most of these games, other than Packers-Cowboys, have been absolutely dreadful. I really thought we were going to get a good game out of the Packers and Falcons because the 2 offenses were both spectacular. The defenses are terrible, or at least statistically. I assumed it would be one of those schoolyard last team with the ball type of games, but clearly it was definitely a disappointment.
Yeah, terrible. I mean, honestly, and these playoffs have given you one great game, and that is the Cowboys and the Packers divisional round last Sunday. Aside from that, the playoffs have been awful. And what you saw was, Green Bay go into Atlanta was an absolute buzzsaw when you look at the way the Falcons and some drop passes early when you look at the Packer wide receivers. But the very fact is they weren't going to beat Atlanta regardless. The way Matt Ryan's playing right now, and he will be the MVP of the league. And then you get to the late game, and Tom Brady does to the Steeler defense what Tom Brady always does to the Steeler defense, which is pick it apart. I have no idea why they don't ever play non-zone defense against Tom Brady, because all he does is go out there and not turn the football over, CeeLo, and throw touchdowns.
22 touchdowns, no picks since Mike Tomlin took over as head coach in Pittsburgh. It's incredible. He kills the Steelers. So, yeah, that one, I felt the Pats would win that one comfortably, even more so when they didn't play well last week at home in the win over Houston. That just gives Belichick the chance to pound his guys all week. And you figured they'd come out a little bit more focused and locked in, which is exactly what happened. I'm with Ralph. I had higher hopes for the NFC game, and Rodgers touched on it there in the postgame that they kind of beat themselves early. I mean, they left 10 points on the board in the first quarter. The Ripkowski fumble, they didn't recover that fumble on the snap with Ryan and Gabriel. I mean, they had some chances. A couple of interceptable passes from Ryan in the second quarter. They could have got a score before the half and then started the second half with the ball. So, I mean, you knew they weren't going to stop them much defensively with Matt Ryan and company. They were going to put up the points, but I thought Rodgers had a chance to stay hot and keep them in it and have it be a shootout towards the end, but they just made too many mistakes early on.
8 of the 10 playoff games so far, duds, blowouts, with at least a 13-point margin of victory there. Chris Hogan, he's from Connecticut, 7-Eleven, always open, went to Buffalo. New England targeted him in free agency, gave him a nice little deal, making about $4 million a year. 9 catches, 180 yards, 2 TDs. I think he set the NFL, the Patriots record for yards today. How surprising was that to see Chris Hogan get loose against the Steelers?
Former Giants receiver, by the way, spent 2 weeks on their practice squad in 2011. It's surprising that it's Chris Hogan. It's not surprising because this is what the Patriots do. Every week, there's a Dion Lewis or a Chris Hogan or somebody else. Every year, they seem to take guys who are under everyone's radar in the league and make the best out of them and turn them into stars for a few weeks at a time. It's how the Patriots have sustained a dynasty. Obviously, Belichick and Brady had a lot to do with it, but they've sustained a dynasty by having a supporting cast of rotating guys who you don't think about, and then suddenly they become big-time players.
Yeah, I mean, Hogan playing with that thigh injury, remarkable, and he's warming up, keeping it warm on the sideline, wrapped, and then going in there and doing what he was able to do. It's really a testament to Belichick and Brady and their brilliance. That's really what it comes down to, and Brady's ability to make everyone around him better.
I mean, he fits the Patriots to a T. It's the exact kind of guy that they look for. They see things in guys that other teams don't see or that they're not able to get out of them. I mean, in this game today, he had more receiving yards than he did in his 1 year of playing college football at Monmouth. So, I mean, it's incredible. The regular season numbers were nothing to go nuts about, but you put him in a spot in the big game. He's a smart player, good route runner, good after the catch, dependable, all the things that Belichick wants in a receiver and that Tom Brady wants in a receiver.
He values versatility, and he gives them that in the slot and also outside.
No question.
Chris, Marc, Ralph, guys, thank you.